Hi friends, Sam here with Happily Hooked. So today we are going to learn how to make a granny square and know why it is important to know this skill. Granny squares are super versatile. You can use them from anything from garments to home decor, and I'm actually obsessed with them. So this is going to be split up into two parts. The first one is why you need to know, and the second part is how to make one. I'm going to teach you guys today. So the first reason as to why you should know how to make a granny square is they build up your speed and your dexterity. It is the same pattern, infinite. Like, you can keep going forever and ever and ever and ever and ever as long as you have yarn, and it helps you learn to go faster and more consistent and more precise, especially with your tension. They're also fantastic for using up your remnant yarn. So if you have a couple balls of yarn that's not quite big enough to make anything else with, but you want to use it up, granny squares are for you. They're also extremely versatile. You can make a little tiny one and use it as a washcloth. You can make a bunch of little tiny ones and turn it into a sweater, or you can make a super giant big one and turn it into a blanket. They're absolutely magical and I love them so much. And by the way, Happily Hooked has a bonus issue that's included in your subscription right here. So make sure when you guys subscribe today, you check that out too. Alright, so I'm going to teach you how to make a granny square right now. So go grab your hook and your favorite corresponding yarn, pause the video so you don't miss out, go get that, come back, and we're going to get started. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to teach you guys how to make a simple basic granny square today. This is just nothing super fancy, it's just a regular granny square. But we're going to go through the first couple rounds of it, and I'm going to show you how to start this one and get it all ready to go for you. Alright, so I'm using Lion Brand's Heartland yarn. This is just one of my favorites to use for blankets and things like that. And then I've got a 5mm hook. So we will just make our slip knot, hook, and then we will chain 3. And then in the first chain at the bottom here, we will do 2 double crochets. Alright, so now we will chain 3, and we will do 3 more double crochets in the same spot. Chain 3, 3 more double crochets, chain 3, and 3 more, chain 3, and then we will slip stitch to the top of that chain 2 or chain 3 that we did when we first started. Alright, so there is the first round of your granny square. And now we will chain 2. And then we're going to put 2 more double crochets in this same spot that we just chained 2 off of. So 1, 2, and then we're going to chain 2. And then in the next corner right here, we're going to do 3, chain 2, and 3. So this first part that we did right here was one side of a corner, and then we put a space here. And then we did another corner right here, and we'll chain 2, and then 3 double crochets over here, And we just literally continue this all the way around. In the corners, you'll do 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. And then once you get back all the way around, you just slip stitch them together. And then I will show you round 3. Alright, so we completed round 2. Now obviously this hasn't been blocked yet, so it will be a little bit wonky. And if you want me to make a video on how to block your granny squares and things like that, leave that in the comments below and I can get that done for you guys. So now we are going to start our 3rd round. So we have our chain 2, so that's our first stitch. And then we will add 2 more double crochets here. And then we'll chain 2. And then in this gap right here, we're going to put 3 double crochets. And then chain 2. And in the corner, it'll be the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So this is the same all the way around for as many rounds as you make it. You will keep putting 3 double crochets in each spot, and then in the corners there will be a total of 6 double crochets and a chain 2 space. And this just goes on for as big as you want it to be. If you want to make just a bunch of little ones and sew them all together, you can do that. If you want to make one giant one and turn it into a blanket, you definitely can. You can do this with single crochets, you can do this with half double crochets. You can pretty much do it with any stitch you want. And you can change up the amount of chains that you put in each spot. You cannot put chains and just make extra stitches. Granny squares are super versatile and pretty forgiving. Alright, so we've made it back around to our other corner. Do our final chain 2 and then slip stitch those together. Alright, and there is your granny square. So like I said, this hasn't been blocked obviously, neither is this one, but if you just make a bunch of them, then you can sew them together and make a nice little blankie. You can use those for washcloths or face scrubbies or whatever you want to use them for. I wouldn't recommend using acrylic for a face scrubby, but you do you, and I won't judge you. And here you go. So this is the basic granny square, like I said. In any of these chain 2 spaces, you'll just put 3 double crochets to go over the double crochets you had before. You'll chain 2, and then in the corners it is 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.